Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
And that is, I think, the most intriguing one in a way, Juwan Howard at Michigan, right? A couple of years ago, I remember writing a story saying, like, he's the outlier, is the former NBA player who's got $100 million in his bank account, who's actually rolling. You know, they were going to Elite Eight. I was still kind of a little bit leery of kind of where it was going because he inherited a really good culture and some good players from John Beilein. And this thing has started to turn downward. You know, he had 2 first-round picks last year and Hunter Dickinson. They didn't make the tournament. A couple of years ago, they barely got in. They went to the Sweet 16, which kind of saved them a little bit. This year's roster looks completely underwhelming, and it could be a repeat of last year, not getting in the NCAA tournament, albeit with far less talent than a year ago. Juwan Howard, how much trouble is he in, Gottlieb?
I think a good amount. Now, I don't know how the football controversy affects him, right? On one hand, football might win the national championship. On the other hand, the sign stealing thing is a mess. I will tell you the thing that will affect him the most is that Michigan State is really good, right? And the rise of Michigan State, you go back to the mid-'90s, right? What did it coincide with? The downfall of Michigan. You know, Mateen Cleave's unofficial visit, car accident. They all end up going to, he ends up going to Michigan State. And, it's very hard to those two to be on a level playing field. And everybody looks down the street and is like, well, you got old ass Tom Izzo and he's figured it out. He's got a great recruiting class and getting guys to stay. And we're at Michigan and we can't make the NCAA tournament with first round draft picks and, the accusations of daddy ball. So I think it's going to be hard. And then he does himself no favors at times with the sideline decorum. He just doesn't. So I think all of those things, but really hard to fire him. That's a guy that's really, really hard to fire. He's got a lot of friends in the media. He's got a lot of friends that are former players. And let's be honest, he's a really respected dude as a player and as a human being. So that one's going to be a hard one. I would say that one would be one where if it got bad, can he get an NBA job? Can he find a way to do that more so than just the old school acts? And the timing of college to pro is better than the timing of pro to college, right? Like Billy Donovan, that would be a harder deal to go down because your season's not over until after all the college jobs are closed up.
His might be over before
Billy. Yeah. I mean, again, but again, I think because the other part is that league's good, right? I mean, it's really good. What is it? National championship? I don't know, but Purdue's gonna be damn good. Indiana's gonna be damn good. Michigan State's gonna be damn good. I think Iowa's gonna be really good, right? You kind of go through I think it's going to be a tough putt. Point guard play really undid him last year. Plus, they didn't play particularly good defense. But I think, a bad year, it all depends upon football, right? Like in football, they give Harbaugh a new deal. If he gets that new deal done, I think that helps him. But if football is kind of murky, maybe doesn't help him. I don't know enough about the inner workings of that athletic department, but I do know a lot of those things are united. You don't fire a football and a basketball coach same year. I don't think they fire Harbaugh for this thing, but I also think that it doesn't look good, and they are about optics, especially in the Big Ten.
The buyout's low, Borzello. That's the other thing I want to say here is the buyout is very reasonable.
So here's my thing with Juwan.
He's one of their own.
Right. Well, I think a non-Michigan guy would not even really be on the hot seat going into this year. I mean, he made an Elite Eight in the Sweet 16 2 years ago and 3 years ago. Yes, he had one bad year, but I just don't think that what 1 year did, and I don't think they're going to be that good this year, even though they supposedly beat Marquette in the scrimmage. I just don't know if 2 bad years outweighs the Elite Eight and Sweet 16. Then you add in the fact that it's Juwan Howard, and I just don't really see him being in all that much trouble this year regardless. Now, what Doug mentioned, jumping to the NBA, I think that's more realistic than him getting fired this year. I just think it's and we've run into this with a lot of the, former stars at a college coming back to coach with Ewing and Chris Mullen, guys like that, it's really hard to fire them. And I just think that Juwan has not done nearly bad enough to get fired after this year. Even if they go, 18-16 again, or 16-18 and miss the tournament, I don't see him getting fired.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.